Hello, fellow travelers, no matter where you are in your spiritual journey, today, right here on this big, blue, beautiful creation we all call home, today we're all in this together, and hopefully you can take something from me, and maybe, just maybe, you can add some comments and give me something that'll help me too. Today is a book review. I wouldn't call it a review, but a recommendation would probably be the better word, of paradigm shifting books, and try to understand that when I give you a book that I think is paradigm shifting, that does not mean that I endorse all of its views. Far from it. It just means that there's a lesson that can be learned from it that I find is extremely important. And for this one, you'll love the source where I found this guy. Okay, this guy was actually on Coast to Coast AM. I discovered him talking to George Norrie when I was doing paper routes in the middle of the night. Okay, Alan Cremo is his name. No, Michael Cremo. See, I even got his name wrong. Michael Cremo, Forbidden Archaeology. And Michael Cremo wrote a second book, Forbidden Archaeology and its Impact. So, why did I get these books? Alright, this is the reason. It's not really important to me that I understand every single thing that was in the book. I got it for one reason only, to show to other people that there are people that are not biblical creationists that understand that there are out-of-place artifacts buried deep in the earth in layers that evolutionists would claim are hundreds of millions to billions of years old. And he chronicles a great deal of those kind of artifacts, especially in this first volume. Okay. Now, Michael Cremo, he comes to some wrong conclusions, okay? Instead of just going with the more obvious fact that maybe the world's not that old, instead he tries to reconcile hundreds of millions and billions of years with an extended human timeline of history. Which, of course, doesn't make sense to me because our DNA is deteriorating at such a fast rate. I think just that alone would prove that there's no way humans have walked the earth for millions and billions of years. Okay, so let alone the fact that the Bible's pretty clear with timelines, like all the way back to the beginning. Even if you add the hundreds of years in Genesis that some Jews took out, that's understandable. You could add those in, and you still don't come up with anywhere near the millions of years. I'm talking about the little part about Melchizedek, and the Jews didn't want him associated with Jesus, and so they took out some years of the timeline. Okay, but add those years back in, and you don't come anywhere near billions of years. So the Bible, in my opinion, shows that there's no such thing as prehistory, because how do you get prehistory when it starts with in the beginning? You say, well, somebody wrote that after the beginning, so it doesn't really prove it. Except the way I understand is that somebody passed that information down to them, you see. So somebody had to have been there in the beginning to have given them that information, regardless of when it was written. Unless, of course, you're under the impression that it's just all made up. And in that case, that's another conversation for a whole nother day. But today, I just want to show you that it's very obvious, and I think his evidence, Michael Cremo's evidence in Forbidden Archaeology, tells us that a worldwide flood destroyed the world, and like the Bible says, the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. So don't be willingly ignorant of that fact, folks. Paul warned us of that. Don't be ignorant that the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. Don't be willingly ignorant. Don't try to reconcile evolution in hundreds of millions of years with the obvious evidence that a massive, amazing world of technologically advanced people that lived before the deluge were destroyed, and we find pieces of their civilization today buried deep in the earth, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of feet down in the earth, sometimes in coal mines. An hour from where I am now, one of those artifacts was found near Bridgeport, which is near Clarksburg, West Virginia. And that was that golden bell. Perhaps if you're familiar with this topic, you've probably seen it. It was found in a coal mine. Very interesting proof that that world was destroyed. So I recommend you buy the book. Don't get distracted by the nonsense of trying to merge the hundreds of millions of years with evolution, because he doesn't believe they evolved. He's just trying to make it all work out. And so in his mind, people had to have been around for millions of years. Well, okay, that's pretty much creating a story out of thin air. There's already a better story that fits that evidence that you're seeing, the one that comes from the Bible and from Genesis. So, God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.